there, and welcome to another Dave Does Videos. Today we are doing a basic introduction to drumming. This is purely designed for people that want to get straight into it. I don't really want to have to go through a huge amount of the theory, as I never went round through the theory. So this is the kind of basic, get yourself started, some basic tips I can give you to get yourself going. Now, if you're the sort of person that will listen to music and you tap along, and you're tapping in time with the beat, and you're adding little fills, etc., drumming is the sort of thing that you would easily get into. If you struggle to tap along with a song and keep it in time, drumming is going to be something that's going to be a little bit more harder for you to come to. Now, if you're the sort of person that can keep in time with it, then I would say straight away, if you really have a passion for drumming, get a drum kit. Some people will tell you to get one of these little blocks, get some sticks, and then get this little practice block, and you practice tempo. I'm going to tell you not to do that because you'll lose interest. I want to give you the simplest way to get into it. So you can start off with an electric kit or an acoustic kit. Now, the acoustic kit's going to start you out about a couple of hundred, anything from £200-300 starter kits upwards. Same with the electric. I would personally recommend electrics. You can get a basic electric kit for a couple of £200-300, pounds sterlings, whichever way you look at it. And then you can work your way upwards if you want to get a kit later on. You can use headphones. It's going to stop annoying your neighbours to some degree. You're still going to get vibrations around the house, but it'll give you the idea of getting yourself started. The other thing is, it's good for you to jam along with songs that you like. There is lots of drumless songs on the internet that you can utilise. Find a song that you really like. Don't try and go out there and start doing thrash metal bands from scratch. You won't have the stamina, technique, etc. You won't have learnt that. Basic rock songs, you can do some AC/DC, stuff like that, which has got a fairly standard 4/4 tempo beat. But your main thing you're looking for from your drum kit is that it has at least the four kind of main essential things that you need in, which is going to be your kick drum, your snare, your hi-hat, which should always have a foot switch or a pedal for doing closed to open, and a variance all the way through that, just to give you some open and close hi-hats. Your cymbals, now you'll probably get, on most kits you'll get 2 cymbals. If you're lucky enough to have an extra one, great, but you'll have your crashes. That's a China kind of crash. And then you've got your ride. Generally you're going to want to have a crash and a ride set up. Extra cymbal is always useful though. And then you've got your toms. Now most basic electric kits are going to come with maybe 2 toms to start with. You're 3 if you're lucky, 4 if you go up a grade. I've got this from an older kit, so high, mediums and floor toms. So it's kind of set up how I would have an acoustic kit set up anyway. Now the thing to remember, or the easiest thing I can help you with as far as getting started is, as I said, find a song that you really enjoy playing to. Keep it nice and simple. I learnt on playing Aerosmith's Crying, I think was the first song I kind of learnt. Then I started learning things like Metallica's Enter Sandman, stuff like that. So you get to learn it, but if you want to do your own techniques and learn just keeping tempo for playing a band, the way I try to think about it is on the right side of your body, this is your rhythm keeper. So your right arm is going to be playing off your cymbal, so that's going to be either playing on your hi-hat, your ride, or your floor toms. Your right foot is obviously playing your kicks. So your left arm is playing all your dynamics. So they're your snare hits. These are the punctuation points, or your cymbals. So a lot of people will turn around and say to you, the simplest way to learn drums is start doing this and get a tempo. And you can have a click tempo track, which will go along the lines of, there'll be a click tempo that you can play from. Your little player has a tempo guide, so you can play along with that. There's backing tracks you can do as well. Then they'll say to sort of like, so you can play on the beat. So you've got your kick drum playing and your hi-hat, and you're playing exactly the same time. And then they'll say, right, now start to throw your snare hit in on the opposite. And this will be on the opposite to what you're already doing. Doing every other, because you wouldn't normally have the kick drum playing at the same time, so you do very boring beat, and generally tutorials will tell you to go through this, slowly build up your tempo so you get your tempo going. I'm going to say, as long as you can keep that in your mental mind, go for a jamming of an actual song. You're going to find it a lot easier to play a song. So I'm trying to think of what Crying was. Crying was like oh yeah, it was like. So it's a simple tempo beat, and I learned that was my first song I learned, because it's there was a time when I was so broken hearted, love wasn't mine of a friend of mine. There was that time, and this is basically a swing beat. You can then go to your AC/DC beats, which is this is where we're increasing the amount of hi-hat hits we're doing. And this is a fairly standard rock beat, which is 1 2 1 1 2 1 2 1 1 2 1 2 1 1 2 1 2 1 1 2 1 1 2 1 2 1 1 2. And that's a fairly basic tempo to start with. Now these are the sounds I would start you with. AC/DC is a great one to start doing. There's not a huge amount of fills. What you're not looking for is doing sort of Avenged Sevenfolds, double kick work. Do not try to set yourself onto that. But do set yourself a target of where you want to get to. I would go through your CD collections, listen to sort of hard rock sort of stuff, early rock stuff. You're looking for something that, in what we call BPMs, beats per minute, is in the kind of 120 beats per minute. That's a good, nice, comfortable mid-tempo. You're not really going to want to do anything above 140, because 140 and above is where you're getting into the faster stuff, which is going to end up having more fills. So you're going to be in the 140s are like. And that's where you're going to start making mistakes, and your muscle memory isn't there, and that's what you've got to train yourself into at the beginning. So everything is about muscle memory. So this week's lesson, and what you need to take away from, is learning your right side is your rhythm. Your right side is going to control. So this is what's going to keep the beat. Your left side is what's going to basically accent. So these beats are for, like in a guitar, like you've got like dun 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 dun. When there's they go like you're trying to accent those big points. That's where your left arm is coming in, but at the same time you want your right arm to keep that tempo going at the background. So that's got to keep everything together, because if you're playing in a band, they're locking to you. You shouldn't be locking to them. The only time you lock into a guitarist or something like that is when they're providing the intro. And it's amazing how bad guitarists in some cases can be with setting tempos at intro. You can have a guitarist who plays it so much slower than you're meant to do it, or so much faster that you're trying to work out what they're doing, and you've got the tempo in your head and you're thinking, where the hell are they going? So in a lot of good cases when you're playing live, you're going to want to count them in just so you can get that guitarist on the right tempo. And that's the difference between being a drummer versus being a guitarist. Now you will find that a lot of drummers who do play guitar, like myself, tend to write very rhythmically induced riffs. We're not into solos or virtuoso parts. We're into stuff that chugs, chugging riff, because we're thinking of the rhythm, the tempo, and that's what we're comfortable with. But that's what I'm going to take you away for this week's lesson. So go away, have a look at it, have a play. If you haven't got a drum kit yet, I still recommend just go and do it. Don't listen to the other teachers who say, oh wait, try it with a pillow and stuff. But if you really haven't got, yes, you got your pillow. And what you're going to do is you can get a pair of drumsticks for a couple of dollars. Now the problem with this, just to let you know, the problem with doing it this way is that you're now using your right arm as a kick drum, and you don't want to be learning to do that. So really that's what your cymbal's going to be doing. Ting, 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 and the kick's going to be underneath going. So reality there is bum, ba, bum, 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 ba, bum, ba, bum. But get yourself a kit, get yourself playing, and then join me for my next lesson. All the best, take care, and that's of course how Dave does it.